Welcome back to Let's Play Pokémon LeafGreen. We just caught ourselves a Zapdos. It took me, probably a good hour and a half at least. But hey, we finally got him. Number 145, the Electric Pokémon. A legendary bird Pokémon that is said to appear from clouds while dropping enormous lightning bolts. Man, I am so happy to be done with you. So, now that we've finally finished at the power plant, with more than a few casualties, it's time to head to Cinnabar and see what's happening. So, Tiamat, as much as I'm so sorry to make you fly in this condition, let's get going, shall we? Thanks, gal. We appreciate all you've done for us. Ah, good old Cinnabar Island. First, I figure we should take the time and heal, and then we'll give the place a proper once-over. Thank you, Nurse Joy. Thank you very much. Otherwise, too, just so I don't have to re-catch Zapdos, I'm gonna save my game. Because, frankly, that took quite a long time. Ah, much better. Thank goodness. Otherwise, too, let's see, yeah, I used quite a few Pokeballs. That was certainly much more difficult than Articuno ever was, but hey, when you can't paralyze a legendary Pokemon, it does make it quite frustrating. Still, it wasn't all that bad, even if a bit tedious. Otherwise, hey there, guy.
Do you have lots of friends? Linking up with the usual friends is fun, of course, but how about visiting the Union Room every so often? Who knows, you may end up making new friends. I think it would be worth your time to check the Union Room.
Well, seeing as online services for basically anything below the Switch are no longer available, I'm gonna pass. Still, it would have been great advice back in, 2005? Sometime like that? 2000, up to maybe 2010? Point is, I'm not checking out the Union Room. Sorry. Otherwise, hey there.
Pokemon can still learn techniques after canceling evolution. Evolution can wait until new moves have been learned.
Yeah, that's pretty true. It's kind of the same idea like how we waited with Inari for forever. It really helped her. Otherwise, hey there, gal.
I came to visit the Cinnabar gym, but the door is locked tight. There should be a key for it somewhere. Could it be in that burned-out mansion? The gym leader's friend used to live there, they say.
Interesting. So yeah, if you wanted to go right away to the gym here on Cinnabar, unfortunately, the door's locked. Cinnabar Island Pokemon Gym Leader, Blaine, the hot-headed quiz master. Sounds like a certain someone I used to know quite a long time ago. Still, point is, we can't do anything at the gym just yet. We have a whole other dungeon we're gonna have to clear out before we can go there. Still, let's take a look at the Pokemart, see what they're selling. Ultra Ball, Great Balls, Hyper Potions, Revives, Full Heals, which actually we'll pick up a handful of, just in case. And there we go. Otherwise, some Max Repels. It's not a terrible idea. Maybe I'll pick up 10 of them. Sounds good to me. And then otherwise, I think I'm good on everything else. So, oh yeah, we actually have some things to sell. I totally forgot. I want to say we have that big pearl we can sell, and we may have some other things. Let's take a look here. Big pearl, yeah, beautiful. Get a little bit of money for that, and then, that looks to be about it. Sounds good to me. Otherwise, hey there, gal.
Don't they have X attack? I like it because it raises the attack stat in battle.
It does, but I'm not a big fan of them. And what about you, my good sir?
It never hurts to have extra items. You never know what might happen.
Yeah, it's not a terrible piece of advice. Having a whole bunch of items for a whole bunch of situations makes sense. Otherwise, hey there, old-timer.
Scientists conduct experiments in the burned-out building. You know, the one they call the Pokemon Mansion.
Yeah, we've seen it. This must be their lab, huh? Yeah, Pokemon Lab. All right, let's head on in. So, hey, what's going on?
We study Pokemon extensively every day. People often bring us rare Pokemon for examination.
Makes sense. After all, you are scientists. What's in here? Pokemon Lab, meeting room. Sounds great. Let's take a look. Hey there.
Hello there. Do you happen to have a Raichu? Would you agree to a trade for my Electrode?
Well, we already have an Electrode and a Raichu, so, I'm good.
Well, if you don't want to.
Sorry, guy. What about you?
I found this most remarkable fossil inside Mount Moon. I think it's of a rare prehistoric Pokemon.
Oh, sounds like something similar we found. And, hi, gal.
Hi, do you have a Venonat? Want to trade it for my Tangela?
Ooh, that's a new Pokemon, or well, one we haven't obtained ourselves, though there will be another chance to actually get this. You can actually catch it just south of Pallet Town. So while we could get Tangela here, I'm gonna say no, and we'll catch it once we return to Pallet Town from Cinnabar.
That's too bad.
Sorry, girl. Still, if you want Tangela now, hey, feel free. Pokemon Lab, R&D room. Cool. Research and development. Ooh, yeah, this certainly seems like the place. Hey there.
Chit. I'll teach you a nifty move. Teach it to a Pokemon and watch the fun unfold. It's a move called Metronome. Does it strike your fancy?
Well, we've seen what Metronome can do, and frankly, I'm good.
I tell you, it's a lot of fun.
It certainly is a lot of fun, though its randomness can really get you in trouble. Hey there. Oops, excuse me. Hello, good sir. What have you to say?
Eevee can evolve into one of 3 kinds of Pokemon.
Yeah, we kind of knew that. But, I mean, hey, good to know if you didn't know. So, what's here? Pokemon Lab, testing room. Alright. So, what's the haps?
I'm looking for the Pokemon Ponyta. Want to trade one for my Seal?
No. Though, if it were the opposite trade, I would have done it in a heartbeat.
Oh well.
Sorry, guy. And, how's it going? Oops. Oh, running away.
Hiya. I'm an important doctor, yes, very much so indeed. Here I study rare Pokemon fossils. All the time, I study. Have you a fossil for me?
We actually do. This is the scientist who will revive the Pokemon from all of the fossils you've obtained. Generally speaking, you either will have the Helix or Dome fossil and the Old Amber. Let's start with the Old Amber first.
Oh, that is Old Amber, it is. It is fossil of Aerodactyl, a Pokemon that is already extinct. My resurrection machine will make that Pokemon live again.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
So, you hurry and give me that.
Red handed over the Old Amber to the weird doctor.
I take a little time. You go for a little walk.
Sure. Sounds good to me. And, yeah, basically, once you do that, I want to say you just leave the building and return, and it should be good to go. In fact, you might even be able to just leave the room and go back in. But I know that leaving the building should work. And if it doesn't, well, I'll prove myself a liar for the umpteenth time this playthrough. Hey, it's all good. So, hey there, Doc. Got any news for me?
You late. Where were you? Your fossil's back to life. It was Aerodactyl, like I think.
And we received the Aerodactyl. We don't want to give him a nickname, though. So, let's take a look. Aerodactyl. I want to say he's way down in the list. So let's get a scroll in here. I will say, seeing as we've gotten so far into the game, it's really awesome seeing just how full our Pokedex is looking. Pretty soon, we'll have just about every entry. Or well, as many as we can get. Otherwise, Aerodactyl, the fossil Pokemon. A ferocious, prehistoric Pokemon that goes for the enemy's throat with its serrated, saw-like fangs. Yeah, that sounds terrifying. And let me tell you, as a rock flying type, it's pretty vicious. It's also pretty darn versatile, and frankly, it's a decent Pokemon. Otherwise, hey again.
Hiya, I am Important Doctor. Yes, very much so, indeed. Here I study rare Pokemon fossils. All the time, I study. You have a fossil for me?
We do, the Helix fossil.
Oh, that is Helix fossil, it is. It is fossil of Ammonite, a Pokemon that is already extinct. My resurrection machine will make that Pokemon live again.
Yeah, sounds good.
So, you hurry and give me that.
We hand over the Helix fossil.
I'd take a little time. You go for a walk a little while.
Sure. So, same thing as before, simply, I guess we can see if just walking out the room is enough. So, hey there.
You late. Where were you? Your fossil's back to life. It was Ammonite like I think.
And we received the Ammonite. Wonderful. So, let's go give Ammonite a look. I want to say all of the fossil Pokemon are pretty far down the list. So, yet again, scrolling we will go. And hey, I figure it's nice seeing all the Pokemon listed here. It is really cool. Otherwise, let's see here. Ah, there we go. Number 138, the Spiral Pokemon. Although long extinct, in rare cases, it can be genetically regenerated from fossils. So yeah, this is one of those rare cases. And I gotta say, I love how he kinda looks like a Dragon Quest Snaily. Or Snail Slime, depending on which game you played. Still, I love the little fella. He's adorable. Otherwise, there's one big caveat with these Pokemon, and generally a big reason why a lot of people don't use them for their playthroughs. Not only does it take this long for you to get them, they're whopping level 5 when you do get them. So yeah, even if you wanted to use these guys, you have a whole lot of catching up to do. So look, don't let me discourage you from using these Pokemon. Just understand that you're really gonna have to put some time and effort into raising them. They're not bad, but frankly, you've had options for so long that the needed time investment to raise them is gonna be pretty darn intense. Otherwise, I think it's time to swap someone out for good old Zinx. I think at this point, let's swap Cabbage out. Sounds good to me. So, here we go. We'll grab Zinx and put her back in. And otherwise, I want to actually grab that amulet coin off of Cabbage. So let's take that and go into our party and give it to Zinx. There we go. After all, there's going to be a couple battles coming up in the Pokemon Mansion, so keep it in mind. Otherwise, there's a couple other things that various Pokemon have. Let's take those. Yeah, Chesto Berries, the Stardust from Starmie. Ooh, and even Dugong had something. An Aspear Berry. Sure, why not? Free is free. Oh, and you also had one. Very nice. Cool. Alright, that should do it for all the new Pokemon from the lab. But let me tell you, there's quite a few new ones coming up. Or, well, new in quotation marks. We've already seen all the Pokemon that we'll be able to catch here. But, I mean, depending on if you wanted to surf on that little pool in Celadon or fish there, you've probably not found Grimer or Coughing yet. The Pokemon Mansion is where you're going to find them rather easily. Otherwise, hey there, ma'am.
The Cinnabar Jim Spillane is quite the odd fellow. He's lived on the island since way before the lab was built.
Huh. Interesting. I guess this place is like home to him. Still, into the mansion we go. The Pokemon Mansion. This is also the area I was thinking of. I want to say, after we fight whatever this is, Rattata. Interesting. Well, sorry, pal, but today's not your day. Still, we won't fight you. I want to say over here, on one of these rocks, there is the final moonstone we need to evolve Nidorina into Nidoqueen. This is the reason I thought I missed the one in Mount Moon. It's also on a rock here. And hey, speaking of Pokemon we missed, hey there, Grimer. This has been a long time in the making. So let's get you nice and weak, and then try to catch you. Wow, that worked out really well. Nice. Ooh. You know, for a minute there, I thought he was gonna, Locke was gonna get poisoned. Good, good. Well, I guess let's start chucking balls. I gotta say, catching anything that's not a legendary Pokemon feels so easy comparatively. Sure, it's annoying when they break out, but, I mean, look, one ball? Hey, I'll take it. Number 88, the Sludge Pokemon. Appears in filthy areas. It thrives by sucking up polluted sludge that is pumped out of factories. Huh. I mean, honestly, sounds kinda useful, doesn't it? If it eats all the pollutants and just is them itself, wouldn't that actually help the environment? Huh. Seems like a pretty actually useful Pokemon. Cool. So yeah, that's one of a few new Pokemon that we can catch. Now, if you're playing Pokemon Fire Red, you'll encounter something else other than Muck. For us, we encounter Muck and Grimer more often than we encounter Coughing, and in Leaf Green, we can't encounter its evolution, Wheezing. For you Fire Red players though, you'll find Coughing more often and Wheezing instead of Muck. Pretty cool, huh? Still, this is gonna be kind of annoying. But hey, beats catching a legendary, that's for sure. Admittedly, it's going to be a good little minute before we go to catch our next legendary, so, you know, as much as it would be fun to catch Articuno, Zapdos, and then Moltres immediately, it'll be a little second. So, oh well. Otherwise, let's see if we can catch ourselves a Muck in the meanwhile. 1, 2, 3. Oh. Oh well. At least the ball wiggled 3 times rather than the whole 0 times it happened for, you know, an hour and a half while trying to catch Zapdos. And I tell you, at that point, I think I was just looking at my phone, kind of mashing the A button and healing when I needed to. It gets kind of boring when you're trying to catch legendaries and it takes forever. I'm not gonna lie. Hell, Minimize. Ugh. At least Minimize doesn't make it harder to catch the Pokemon, at least as far as I know. I guess at the very least, at least I'm not having to throw a ball at a smaller target, a la Pokemon Go or Pokemon Let's Go. Granted, it would be a nightmare if Minimize did make them harder to hit. Ooh, I don't even want to think about that. Also, you disabled our quick attack. Uh-huh. Sure. Why not, I guess. We'll just keep healing with leftovers and chucking balls until you decide to stay. Oh, come on, Muck. Oh boy, you sludgy Pokemon and your Minimize strats. I tell ya, it is obnoxious. Though, luckily, again, like I said, throwing a Pokeball isn't affected by you being tiny. So, that's good. Hey, we got him. Or I guess her. Nice. Let's take a look-see. Number 89, the Sludge Pokemon. Thickly covered with a filthy, vile sludge. It is so toxic, even its footprints contain poison. Ooh. Yeah, I'd rather not be around Muck if I could help it. Same with Grimer, Coughing, and Wheezing. Now, otherwise, back to the actual dungeon itself, the Pokemon Mansion is a very interesting place. Oh, and hello, Coughing. Speaking of things I'd rather not be around, let's see what we can do to you and hopefully catch you? That would be nice. Granted, Aurora Beam may be overkill. Yep. Whoopsies. Well, we'll find more Coughing. I'm not worried. But the Pokemon Mansion itself is actually fairly interesting. It's basically a giant, several-storied maze that relies on switching gates open and closed with statues. Kinda strange, but honestly, I think it makes for a very interesting gimmick for a dungeon. Also, I really shouldn't be using Locke because frankly, he's leveled as is and he's kind of gonna fight the entirety of this gym by himself, more or less. So I really don't need to worry about him much. Also, hello Raticate. This is gonna hurt. Frankly, these Pokemon are also such a high level that honestly, it's really worth your time to fight them. They offer a fair amount of experience compared to the measly tentacles that you've probably been fighting on the open seas. So honestly, gaining 500 for one Raticate, you could do a lot worse. Yeah, as you can see, this place is a whole big maze. It's not all that bad once you understand what's going on, but until you figure it out, you can get lost pretty quickly. Also, hello Vulpix. Had we wanted to wait, you could have gotten a Vulpix here. Now granted, there is a bit of an issue with that. I believe if the Vulpix is above level 30, it doesn't have Flamethrower as far as I know. It actually might, but every time I've seen them, they never really use it, so I'm hoping both for my sake and yours, if you wanted a Ninetales, I'm wrong. But I really don't know. I want to say that they don't know it, but hey, like I said, I really hope I'm wrong. I guess I could quick look it up or something. It's one of those things I didn't really ever think to look into. But still, should be okay. So, there's also this dude over here. How's it going?
You startled me. I thought you were a ghost.
They might be wondering, why am I giving him that voice? Well, oh, I messed up. Still, I guess this is just a very deep voice kid. I was gonna say, a lot of the trainers in here are actually robbers who are robbing the mansion of any treasures that are in here. I forgot that there actually are a couple kids just wandering around, so, sorry kid, looks like you hit puberty early, I guess? Still, unfortunately, your Pokemon are gonna get thrashed. Or, well, strength now. So, that's nice. Another Ekans, huh? I'm gonna be honest, that, Dual Intimidate is kind of obnoxious. That's really gonna make King do very little damage. So, yikes. Oh, man. Yeah, that's not ideal. I guess we'll just strength again? Sure. Why the heck not? May as well. I mean, hey, if it works, then sweet. Ooh, Eradicate. Well, we can give you a nice little brick break. That doesn't hurt. Also, I'm not gonna lie, while looking for the Vulpix information, I can't actually see if it does know Flamethrower. So I guess maybe give it a turn or two and see if it uses Flamethrower?
I can't even get any wins.
Yeah, sorry, deep-voiced kid. That's just how it is. Otherwise, here's a very particular looking statue. A secret switch. Press it. Who wouldn't? Yeah, once you press the switch, the statue's eyes glow red to show that you've pressed it. Ah, and hello again, Coughing. How's it going? I don't think Thief will one-hit KO you. It's a very weak move. Alright, good. That's beautiful. Unfortunately for us, Coughing is going to be another Pokemon that we're going to have to spend time leveling up in order to evolve, but it shouldn't take all that long. Honestly, other than Dragonair evolving into Dragonite, that's kind of the worst case of having to level up a Pokemon to evolve it. Every other one is pretty reasonable. Beedrill goes to level 10, Kadabra is level 16, Pidgeot's level 36, which sure, is still up there, and Rhydon, which is Rhyhorn's evolution, is at 42, but even then, that's still not 55. Anyways, Coughing, number 109, the poison gas Pokemon. Because it stores several kinds of toxic gases in its body, it is prone to exploding without warning. Right. So not only does it probably stink like the Dickens, it's, prone to exploding. Also, I don't know why I used that term, but it felt appropriate. Still, point is, I really don't want to be around Coughings. Otherwise, as far as new Pokemon go, I want to say that's actually every single new Pokemon here, which is kind of crazy. Otherwise, now that we flipped on that switch, we should be able to get through some of those gates that were blocking our path earlier. So, let's break this Rattata out of our way and, go take a look, shall we? Yeah, I gotta say, again, at this point in the game, the experience gain is fairly limited. At least most of the evolved Pokemon are giving a fair amount, but anything that's unevolved doesn't really give a whole ton. Also, Vulpix, you know? Let's hit you with a Thief, and let's see if you use Flamethrower. I'm actually very curious. Well, it uses Confuse Ray, so that's good. It at least comes with that. That's one of its premier moves, so not bad. I guess hopefully we hit ourselves so we don't hurt you. Good, good. It's kind of weird that I'm actually hoping for that. Oh, and it does know Flamethrower. Look at that. So yeah, if you want to skip all the tedium of raising a Vulpix yourself, I guess you can wait all the way for Cinnabar Island to come get one at level 30. I mean, you could do that, or you can tough it out like we did. Take your pick. I like the way we did it, though. Otherwise, what's this nice little item? It's a protein. Hey, sounds good to me. I love protein. Honestly, let's give this one to Tiamat. Sounds good to me. There you go, gal. That'll help you along. And then otherwise, I think at this point we want to go upstairs. Now, I will apologize for showing all of these battles, but I really don't like doing random encounters, cutting them out, and gaining EXP. It feels kinda cheap, because I like you guys understanding and knowing where I got the levels and experience. Sometimes I cut out some minor ones if I know they're going to give, like, I don't know, like 100 EXP, but when it gives a fair amount, I like to show them, you know? It just feels right. And besides, most of the battles here don't take all that long anyways, so I figure you're not really losing out on a whole bunch. Also, too, the mansion isn't all that long. Other than quite a few items you can find, the actual mansion itself will probably finish up next episode pretty easily. We'll get through a fair bit of it today, but you get the idea. It's not the biggest dungeon, luckily, which I think is nice. Hey there. I can't get out. This old place is one big puzzle. Yeah, that's kind of what I was just talking about. Ah, and here's the robbers I was thinking of, or burglars. Interestingly, they use fire-type Pokemon. Kinda weird, huh? I guess maybe not only are they, burglars, but they're arsonists too? Who knows? Granted, I would assume that fire-type Pokemon would actually have a lot of practical application when exploring an old building like this. Burning locks, opening doors and stuff like that. I'm sure you could find uses. And hey, King grew to level 42. He gains 3 HP, 3 attack, 2 defense, 2 special attack, 2 special defense, and 4 speed. Nice. Alright, what else you got? Ooh, a Charmeleon. We know all about fighting them. So let's give him a nice little strength and be done with it. Ooh, Metal Claw. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's a fair bit of damage, all things considered. Still, it's not much compared to our good old strength. Still, not bad EXP. Oh no, my bag of loot. Hey, thanks for the money. Honestly, I really should be using Zinc, seeing as she has the amulet coin, because frankly, those burglars are worth a whole lot. Oh, I wanted that item. Oh well, what do we got? A Grimer. Alright, fair enough. Frankly, I think I'm just gonna run from you. You're kinda not worth the time. The Raticates and Mucks, though, those certainly are. Ooh, a Zinc. What is that one? Is that special defense? It sure is. Honestly, let's give that to Inari. She likes more special defense. There we go. Beautiful. And, ooh, a book. Diary, July 10th. we christened the newly discovered Pokemon Mew. Ah, the first mention of the 151st Pokemon, which unfortunately is completely unobtainable anymore, at least in this game. There are ways to transfer and obtain it in games like Pokemon Emerald, but for that you need a very rare accessory and an even rarer card. So don't plan on ever finding Mew in these games. It's just not gonna realistically happen. Now, interestingly, there's actually a fairly well-known glitch in the original Pokemon Red, Blue, and I believe even Yellow in order to naturally encounter Mew. It's kind of a crazy thing, and if you've never seen it, go look it up. It involves catching an Abra, encountering a trainer, pausing the game, and then teleporting to the Pokemon Center, and then walking onto the Nugget Bridge up in Cerulean City. It's really cool. The only issue, though, is that when you do catch that Mew, there's a very high chance that after that, your game corrupts and your save is lost forever. I have, however, managed to keep the save and beat the game using a Mew for the entirety of it as one of my team members. That was really cool. It was also a very long time ago. Anyways, what's this book say? Diary, July 5th, Guyana, South America. A new Pokemon was discovered deep in the jungle. Ah, that must have been Mew. Interesting. Also, it's another strange and interesting thing that they just confirmed that Pokemon exists in our world. Because that was South America. So, assumedly, wherever Pokemon takes place, things are just happening in addition with the Americas. So, maybe it's an alternate reality and that's just, a continent they have, but it seems pretty darn implied that, these are just kind of an area that exists along with everything else in the world. More realistically, it's probably just a localization thing that, they added in to try to explain things rather than be like, oh, some unknown continent deep in the jungle, we discovered a thing, That's my guess and the more realistic thing, but it is fun to think about that, hey, this stuff is happening, in our world. Anyways, a Calcium. Very lovely. Let's see here. Special attack. Ah, we know just who wants that. Oh, Zinx. Here you go. Beautiful. That'll help you do even more damage. Otherwise, let's take a look here. Look like there's anywhere really for us to go up here anymore. And hello Vulpix, how's it going? Good to see you actually learned Flamethrower. And I guess it does make sense that they learn Flamethrower just so that way when you encounter them here, they'll have a fire type move. Now granted, if you waited this long to get a fire type, maybe you just shouldn't use one. After all the best opportunities to use one are kinda come and gone. I mean, seriously, Erica was the 4th gym and we're about to take on the 7th one. So I mean, don't let me tell you what to do, but just understand that, the ideal time for fire type was kind of a while ago. Still, I mean, hey, if you just haven't caught the Pokemon and you're, catching up on your Pokedex, it's not a bad time. After all, you can get a fully evolved Ninetales with Flamethrower without having to actually train it, so that's pretty good. Ooh, another book. Diary, February 6th. Mew gave birth. We named the newborn Mewtwo. Interesting first mention of a very notorious Pokemon. In fact, if you watch the movies, you probably know exactly who Mew and Mewtwo are. Pretty good movie, too. Otherwise, that's actually going to be one of the final Pokemon we end up catching. Because although Mew isn't obtainable, Mewtwo is. It's going to be quite a while before we go after him, but just know that it will be probably one of our hardest challenges in this game. So look forward to it, though like I said, it's going to take a while. And what's in here? Why, it's a max potion. How useful. I used up a bunch of those while fighting Zapdos. And, hello, Eradicate. It seems you wish to be our final sliver of EXP for today. Sounds good to me. King, give him the old brick break. Yep, that'll do it. Not bad. Not bad at all. Otherwise, frankly, we've done a fair bit today. Not only did we actually catch Zapdos after an arduous battle, we explored basically the majority of Cinnabar and are effectively finishing exploring it by coming into the Pokemon Mansion. So, sorry, Oak, didn't mean to make you freak out there. So effectively, next time we play Pokemon Leaf Green, we'll probably finish exploring the Pokemon Mansion, and if not, we'll get pretty darn close. So, as always, I've been Brad. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.